The next one up says she is in her third phase of career as a nature finance specialist, having previously been a risk and compliance professional within the financial sector and prior to that, a technology expert. She is passionate about making a positive contribution to investment and development in Africa and is a certified coach. A futurist, she tells me that she is aspiring to be the voice of nature in Africa's financial. Could we have... Thank you. Here is your mic. And I have a question.
This is how it feels when your name is called out here. Your heart beats. We are celebrating women today. But when do what about them to kind of show me many times when I didn't even have confidence office as a young graduate in a very audit firm is not a joke. But my boss David did that. And to date, he's you know, and I you can delete. When I'm feeling, I didn't need to put that, or I'm feeling shy, or you know how you have those imposter syndrome moments, you go and delete the post. With a book, you don't. And that took a lot of courage. So for me, the opportunity to celebrate these men when they are alive is what I'm standing on today. I'm not going to write, an eulogy. And God forbid, but we're all going there someday. But I have the opportunity to celebrate very strong people, very strong men who have walked with me, and they will read about the impact that they had in my life. But then I want to finish with this. Many times, and when I was reflecting, I looked at what I was writing, and I realized that what I did was actually put myself in the path. Many times I didn't believe in myself, and you'll read from the book. And more importantly, many times I have reinvented myself, either knowingly or unknowingly. But what stands out is providence lends itself. And this providence lends itself in many ways, and one of which I have indicated as the strong men who have stood with me. I just want to finish this. I was to do I had a thing, I was to do Michelle Obama. She opens the book, she sits, and then she says, she reads something from the book. I'm sorry, Dorothy, I let you down. But I'm going to read a quote that I really reflected upon. When I was even panicking, I'll say, do so. I used to see your calls, and I used to shake. I'm like, why did I commit to this? But I'm glad I did. Because, as William Murray says, concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never have occurred otherwise. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. We appreciate you. We appreciate your writing. Thank you very much. Can we just take a moment to just celebrate the men in our lives that support what we do? We appreciate you. We appreciate you. And it's just to support the way you want to support and the way you do it. That's enough. And we appreciate it. In however small way or big way you do it. Thank you. A medical doctor working as engagement lead at Access to Medicine Foundation, a keen advocate on global health equity and empowerment of young women and girls. We would like to welcome Dr. Mary Wamboi to the stage. Let's clap for her until she gets here. We clap, we clap, we clap.
You omitted the last name because it's very difficult.
I know. Can you just say it for me? I asked do I say this or do I not? Say that last name before I ask you the question.
It's Molman.
Molman.
That's why she omitted.
See?
But thank you so much. Thank you.
I have a question for you, Daktari. In your chapter, you share about your personal journey. What effective personal transition strategies have you found helpful when navigating major life changes or transitions?
Fantastic, and it's such an honor to be here. In my chapter, I start telling a story about a scar. If you're in front of me, I have a very deep scar on my leg. When I was a little girl, Mama, you remember, right? I was a very active kind of a girl, and my mom had created like a glass shelf she had put outside for disposal. And I was jumping behind my puppy, and I stepped onto the glass cupboard. It shattered, went right into my leg. I could see my bone. Scary scene, right? Screaming! And my mom came rushing and rushed me to the hospital. And as I remember, I saw these doctors who were running around in the emergency unit trying to arrest the bleeding, all this instrument, and the doctors telling me, come on, lie down, lie down. My mom telling me, lie down. She could not handle it. He went out. But I remember I was so curious actually to see what they were doing. I refused to lie down. I looked at them suturing my leg. And that's how my story in medicine began. A doctor, as an engagement lead at the Access to Medicine Foundation, where we are fighting for better access of medicines and diagnostic products for people in Africa. That has been my passion. But also I'm working in the Netherlands, again, where your voice as a Black woman, when you sometimes enter into spaces, someone mentioned you're small. I hear you. Black woman, small. 3 things. And into a point, I got to a place where actually I had a breakdown. I started questioning, what am I doing? Who am I? My transition periods, I've realized 4 things. The first powerful thing that sadly we are never taught in our communities is to really look into ourselves and find out, who am I? What is my power as Mary? Because power does not come with titles. It's good to have, but the real power comes from within me, understanding who you are, understanding your vision, and clearly mapping out how you want to get there and attaining regardless of what the community says. I'm a mom of 3 children. I travel around the world. You should be sitting at home. I defy that. The second part I've learned is failure. Most of you growing up in high school, I remember when I used to fail. You're paraded in front of people and like, look at this failure. They failed by certain marks. You're caned. In primary school, we used to be caned. So I was really afraid of failure. But you know what? Failure is part of our journey as women leaders. And you will fail. But what I've become very good at it is bouncing back. I'm like, Mary, well, that didn't work. It's fine. Come on. Let's move on. I have learned something. Let's create the next way forward. And the third thing a lot of people have mentioned about is families. My husband, he's not here. He's German. That's why my last name is very difficult to say. But my husband, my mom, my father who passed on, and I wish he would have really made me and believe in myself. And even sometimes when I question, I'll be like, can I do this? My mom will always say, Mary, your God always hears your prayer. Move. And that's who I am today. So my chapter is just telling you and breaking down when I've had breaking moments. I have cried 1,001 times. And you know what? My chapter is not yet over. Amen? And we're going to write even better books. And we're going to encourage more ladies coming from a very small beginnings. Be blessed.
Mary, oh my goodness. You made me tear a little bit there. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable. Your chapter is not yet over. 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 Is not yet over.